So welcome to the webinar today from Real Pro Systems. Today we're presenting Randy Worrell. He is our guest, and he'll be talking about how he made Google notice his website. Not only Google, but other search engines. He has some amazing tools and tactics he is wanting to share on how he's able to get his site on first page. Let me just do some quick housekeeping. This recording, we're going to try to keep it to 45 minutes. If we do go over, just know that everyone's going to receive an email with the recording and it within the following day. We'll also be doing a live Q&A at the end. So when everyone sees this, this is already going to be a pre-recorded webinar, which means that it will allow Randy to be able to answer questions during the webinar. So please send in any questions you have during that time, and Randy will be available to answer any of those. If there's anything that he is unable to answer, we'll reach out to other people within the Real Pro Systems team and see if we can cover that for you. So let me just give you some history on Randy. And here's his site, seen in multiple devices. So Randy's been in the real estate business for 29 years. And he's part of the Hall of Fame with RE/MAX, and he's been affiliated with RE/MAX for 20 years. Randy is also a certified CRS agent for the past 25 years. And he has created a successful business selling homes specifically on the waterfront properties in Indianapolis. He's also been a Real Pro Systems client for 11 years. And just to give you a quick overview of what he's going to cover, so there's 4 steps he'd like to speak about in becoming Google's best friend. The first one is setting his website up for success, and he'll basically be going over how he went about honing in on hyper-local neighborhoods on his area and resources for getting data for keywords and meta tags in order to allow him to purchase multiple URLs to start promoting and improving his SEO. Then he's going to be speaking about the importance of a mobile-friendly site, not only for Google to give you higher ranking, but also allowing visitors to come to your site and easily navigate it. He will also touch lightly on the creating polygon maps, and actually we will probably be touching more on that because we did set it up for him. Agents and clients who visit the site can also set the polygon maps on their own. And finally, lead generation through marketing. There's no magic bullet for lead generation, but there's fantastic tools and marketing tactics that can drastically improve lead generation. Randy will be covering 4 of these marketing initiatives. So the first thing Randy's going to touch base on is how he set his website up for success. And here you have a 3-step process. Defining your hyper-local community in your neighborhood. He'll cover what's local, what's hyper-local, and what's niche. Emphasizing with home buyers and sellers for their online search. And how he purchased multiple URLs. So at this point, let me pass the baton to Randy, where he'll jump in and start sharing his secrets on how he got Google and other search engines to recognize his website. Welcome, Randy.
Hello there. Thank you, Celeste. Yes, some time ago, a friend of mine came back from a conference and said the thing to do is to buy domain names, URLs. So I spent a little bit of time trying to figure out what I really had an interest in and wanted to do, and came up with waterfront properties. So I went on at the time and did some research and did some testing to see what domain names were out there and available, and homesonwater.com was available. So I snatched that one up right away, and then I went back and got condosonwater.com, and that's how it basically began. My next step was to find a website provider that could really make a big difference and make a lot of money with this. So I used Real Pro Systems when I did all my research, and I've been with them for quite a while now.
So that was a fantastic strategy, Randy, as far as going and purchasing a domain name specific to the community that you are serving. You can see your website right here. Could you speak more to why you chose this neighborhood and how you focused on the local and the hyper-local, and it being more of a niche being on the waterfront?
Sure. So after I purchased the domain, then I started working with Real Pro Systems, and through their IDX system, I was able to create one of the pages inside the website so that we could separate the different areas, and the consumer, which is normally the buyer, come to the website, would be able to click on the main banner and end up on this page right here, and there's several areas around Indianapolis, and they can really drill down and be very specific, price range, areas, and see all the homes listed that are on water. We made all the adjustments in the IDX so that the only thing that pops up on their screens are going to be, for example, homes on a lake, river, reservoir, pond, or those properties that have a deeded boat dock. And as a result of that, we've got all kinds of different areas, and we have found that whenever the consumer comes in and takes a look at it, they spend a lot of time on the website. The latest stats I had is when we receive a visitor, they're there for about 14.4 pages on average, and we couldn't be happier. That's awesome. So we do that, and then with their email drip campaign, we're able to nicely stay in contact with them. So we got the Homes on Water, the big name. We're focusing down to different areas, and our next step is to get down to the communities, the actual neighborhoods that would be on water. We're in the process of working on 3 custom pages on that right now, and everything's looking wonderful. We're very, very happy. So that the first part, again, was getting the homesonwater.com. Then we wanted to go down and kind of figure out what the consumer is doing and how they're going to do Google searches or go on to AOL or Yahoo or something like that. So I was provided with some information on what to do and think about, so did all of that, and I ended up coming up with a lot of meta tags that I thought that the normal buyer would go through, and created a list, and we use those for the meta tags, and it helped me also to think about other domain names that I could purchase that would help support the Homes on Water. For example, homesonlakes.com. One of the biggest reservoirs over here is Geist, so I own homesongeist.com, and very excited about what all this is doing for us.
Yeah, I see that you have a bunch of the keywords listed here on your first page, which definitely helps with the SEO ranking. But as you mentioned, having the IDX pages as far as the different sub-communities is also very helpful. Let me pull that page up real quick so everyone can see that again. So this is showing your hyperlocal neighborhoods. And then when they go to each page in there, it's going to be showing the maps and every place available within the Homes on Water community. But and also on this page, you're also showcasing to your home buyers or home sellers also how you're showing really high on certain key phrases that are ranking in Google and other search engines. So you can start to see already how your system has really helped to get you to rank high in Google. And then could you speak about how you went about purchasing your multiple URLs after you spent the time empathizing with home buyers and writing down those keywords?
Sure. We have no beaches or things of that nature here in Indianapolis, but again, spent some time thinking about it and doing a little bit of research. And so some of the domains that aren't showing up there is I have homesonbeaches.com. Again, just to kind of help protect the Homes on Water brand that I'm working on. And whenever I did the beaches, homesonbeaches.com, I did it with the correct spelling, and I also did it with the incorrect spelling, just so that somebody doesn't get lost and would always be happy that they are landing where they need to land. If you could go back to the main page on the website.
Sure. Great.
And then early on in this experiment, as it was at the very beginning, I decided that I've been told many times how important it is to always keep the content on your main page fresh. So the way that I dealt with that is virtually every day I will go in there and we will go in and show where it sees here local active listings. We'll go in, we have a save search on the computer. We'll go in and find active homes on water, active condos on water. I went ahead and put homes with a pool, because so many of them have that, and homes on a golf course. And pretty much daily we'll go in and change that, and it's my understanding that's exactly what all these spiders and Google searches and things like that are looking for, is where the content is changing on a regular basis. Did that early on. Whenever I think all that type of stuff was kind of new, and it just pole vaulted me up to the top of the list whenever you go into Google, AOL, Yahoo, things of that nature. It seems like forever, if I'm not the first one on the search, I'm the first unpaid one. And then sometimes now everything's getting a little more sophisticated, and I'm not always the first unpaid one, but I'm nearly every time I'm on the first page. And whenever I seem to not be number one, it's within somebody else's website where they have a community page sort of set up just for like Geist. And so that's what I'm doing too, to make sure that hopefully I'll have maybe 2 or 3 sites that'll show up on the first page or the first 2 pages, directing people back to Homes on Water, and then there's my win-win.
Yeah, and that's actually a really smart and easy tactic for agents to do, is just ensuring that their front page has a lot of these very imperative keywords to high rankings in the search engines. And like you said, just going in and quickly refreshing them, updating them, just to let Google know that you are updating your site and trying to provide fresh content. So that's another great strategy. So I guess we've covered pretty much how he went about getting everything together, to defining his hyperlocal neighborhoods, and how you went about just putting yourself in the position of the home buyer seller and getting those keywords down, meta tags, and how you use that information to purchase your multiple URLs. I love how you purchased other ones that would have misspellings. That's incredibly smart to do, because people always make mistakes when they're spelling things out online. So with this information and data collected, it set you up for a high level of success. I just quickly wanted to mention something just from my own marketing angle. People can also do social resource searches. If you want to spend more time empathizing with home buyers and home sellers, a good place to go is like Yelp, move2.com, citydata.com, and check out your hyperlocal neighborhoods, or even just your city or town in there, and start seeing what people are saying about the communities. That's really good information for people to use when they start to think about their URLs, think about content for their website, and also think about just content for marketing down the road. And we've listed some other URLs in here that people can use for purchasing domain names that you'll have access to later, which I should mention, everyone who gets a recording of this webinar, you'll also get links to this interactive PDF where you can click on these links and see where it leads you to for more information. So the next topic Randy is going to talk about is the importance of a mobile-friendly site. So basically, he's going to be covering, what a mobile-friendly site is. We just have a quick video, and then I have a link where people can test their site later on that. So Randy, if you want to talk to us on why you chose to have your site become mobile-friendly.
Yeah, I was absolutely thrilled whenever all this came about. I think it was in April.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they made the change. So I get a lot of people, and I'm showing them the properties, and they're going on all sorts of sites in their iPads and their iPhones or whatever, Google or their Androids. So happens all the time. On my site, what is so exciting is you can hold the phone straight up, you can hold it sideways, your iPad the same way, straight up, sideways, and all that information auto-populates to fit the screen, and there's no pushing your finger to the left or the right. There's more spacing because you need that on the iPhone to be able to use your finger to get into some of these searches and see some of the results. So I think that's just great, and we did that, and I've asked some of the buyers that I've been working here, especially this year since we just switched over, and we'll demonstrate it if they hadn't used it before, and they do notice the difference. They've seen how they've had to do that on other websites. You don't have to do it on this one, and that was just awesome.
Yeah, and that's also very imperative for agents to understand. I know that agents have been bombarded with marketing in April about how Google is changing their algorithm to ensure that people start getting mobile-friendly sites. And a lot of agents aren't aware of what that really means because, I mean, you guys aren't supposed to be part of the tech industry. That's, you guys are out there selling homes, and being a part of the tech industry takes a lot of time and work. So you're right when you mention how people actually can navigate the site much easier. And I have a link here that people can check out later.
Welcome to this video.
But basically, this covers how Randy's site looks when it is mobile. And I'll just show you some clips in here so you can see how it is easy to navigate, how the buttons are accessible. And it'll also show you a site that's not mobile friendly, so you can get a sense of what that really looks like. So let me just scrub through this real quick. I won't show the whole 4 minutes, but then you guys can get the sense of what this really means.
On mobile-friendly sites versus non-mobile-friendly. We've had a few agents inquire about the difference on mobile-friendly versus non-mobile, and I wanted to give this video to show you the difference. This is an agent, Randy Worrell, who specializes in Indianapolis homes for sale on the waterfront. And you can see right here right away, it is a lot easier to view as far as the text, the images, the buttons. Everything is much larger. As you scroll through it, you'll see how large these images are. So it's easy to access with just one touch.
So there you get that sense of how it is to easily navigate. And let me just forward to a site where it is not mobile friendly.
Now this one just takes the whole website and reduces it to the percentage to fit on the smartphone. So it doesn't stack properly. You can see there's multiple columns happening. The images are incredibly small. It's hard to click on the right buttons because they're they're smaller than your fingertip. So it's kind of clumsy to navigate around. And this is what is dropping people's SEO value over time if they don't convert to the mobile-friendly sites.
So there was just a quick introduction on mobile and non-mobile. And once again, everyone will have access to this link, so they want to watch the whole thing for those of you who aren't quite fully aware of that yet. Right here, people can test their sites to see if it's mobile or not. But, I mean, Randy makes a really good point of how people are now staying on the site for about 14 minutes, you said, Randy?
No, 14.4 pages.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, well, that's still even more impressive, actually.
Oh, yeah, they're going real deep now. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, because you want to get those people on your site. You want them to hang around. You want them to easily navigate, and you want them to eventually fill out a form and contact you. And that's what these mobile-friendly sites are now allowing. So I'm glad that you're seeing that kind of return. So we've talked about how you went about setting up data to choosing URLs for your site, and we just kind of went over what a mobile-friendly versus non-mobile-friendly site is and how it helps to improve your rankings with Google. So the next thing we're looking into having you talk about was just mainly the polygon maps. And I know you mentioned that you had RealPro Systems take care of this for you, but can you talk about how it's helped as far as people coming to your site and accessing these maps?
It's really important because whenever one of the URL domain names I have is waterfrontsearches.com. And whenever they get that and they fill out the form, then we'll set up a custom search for them. And one of the options in there is just for Geist Reservoir. So that's what we're doing right now is we're creating, with the new IDX system, we're getting it all set up so that whenever they click on Geist Reservoir all by itself, which is what it would be, it's going to basically take them to this page that you got right there. It's going to have the drawing around the lake and all of the properties in that price range that they selected showing up.
So let me go back to your website and I'll show everyone. So once again, we're going back to his hyperlocal communities, and Randy mentioned he's focusing on the Geist Reservoir. So this is the one where they can basically go, either they can set up their own map on the front end of the site, the client can, or Randy can set it up in the back end for them. Randy did make a good point on why he prefers to set up the map for them. Could you speak more to that, Randy?
Yeah, whenever they go onto my system here, and they have the ability to save a search, we allow them once they're on the website, they can see 3 different properties, and then once they get to the 4th one, they're asked to sign in to continue to see the pictures and things of that nature. So I have a really pretty high number of the visitors, it seems, that will go ahead and sign up, and whenever we go into the back end IDX after they say they've signed in, we know where they've been looking, what price range they've been looking, and sometimes they'll save a search and sometimes they won't. But what we do, because I'm more comfortable with my local board search, we'll take that information that we get are able to figure out from the back IDX, and we create our own waterfront property search from our own local board, and that's how I maintain them, and it works out really, really well. Some of them will go in and fill out the waterfront searches form and tell us what they want, but the ones that don't, but they do give us the information when they want to continue looking at the properties, things of that nature, and we set up the search for them, the majority of them keep looking at them and take off from there. and they start communicating with us because we'll ask them questions. Is this the area that you're interested in? And it just gives us lots of opportunities to get them to communicate back with us and increases the chances we'll be able to convert them down the road.
Yeah, and that's a really good point, is the communication. That's key word right now. When they go in and set up their own, you lose that chance to talk with them. So when we first rolled out IDX, we had a lot of agents asking for the clients to be able to set up their front end, and that is available, of course. But now that, speaking to you, you do make a really good point that, this is your next opportunity to really start building that trust and loyalty between the home buyer. So just remember that when you think about working with your clientele and getting these polygon maps set up. So let's move on to the next subject. So basically, this is just talking about how, the polygon map search are created. And we also have another video that you can access later with a link here that shows the polygon maps in action when home buyers are out and about looking for their next property. Now, the big and final step, which is basically lead generation through marketing. Now, this is an exciting topic, I think, only because I like marketing. But you have 4 great options. I should say you have 4 great marketing initiatives that you chose. So you don't have to do all these, but the fact that you did all these has helped with your success. So the first one you're going to just talk about was your stealth sites, and then we can talk about the drip emails. So could you speak a little bit to your stealth sites you have with your RealPro system?
Sure. This was one of the things I really liked, is that in this particular case, waterfront searches, I can promote, if I so chose, homesonwater.com to neighborhoods, for example, or like through Facebook and whatnot, or it can also come through and do waterfront searches. With the Homes on Water, it's obviously realtor driven. It's got all my information on it. This does too. The stealth has to in our market here, but it feels more like it's a company instead of an agent. And they can fill out the form, and it comes back to us. It automatically gets hooked up to a drip campaign, and the drip campaign was one of the main reasons I went with RealPro systems in the first place, because it had that stationary down at the bottom, and we can change it. They've been great to work with, and in this case, your source for waterfront real estate, all those things can easily be changed. The drip campaign looks wonderful. It includes links. For example, if someone goes on the website and just wants to keep looking and ends up signing up for some of the reports, they have not requested a property search at that point. And so one of the first emails is, if you'd like to know, direct access to all the homes on water or whatever the message is, they can click on that link. You'll take it right to them. The next one down there is another stealth site that can be used for anything, waterfront or whatever. MyHomesCurrentValue.com is the one I came up with for that. I know it's kind of long, but it says it all, and I can use that for any. If I want to market it for waterfront, I can do it. If I didn't want to, regular real estate. It's just a good domain name, and this site here looks really neat.
Yeah. So basically, your stealth sites are perfect for lead capture, and it's nice that it's integrated in your system and ready to go. So that way, you're not having to grab leads from other websites and export them into your site and import. That's a lot of work for agents. And you're right about having it lightly branded. It's very minimal, so that way people don't feel a huge threat when they go to these sites. You can access it through his site, but they're also their own domain names. So he can actually market to these on his own through other marketing initiatives without forcing them to speak to a realtor. So that's a really good point. The drip emails, and yeah, you also made a great point on that too, the fact that the drip emails are set up and ready to go, and they have links that go directly back to your website. All right, so continuing the conversation of lead generation through marketing, can you speak to about your direct mail pieces you had created and sent out to your hyperlocal neighborhoods?
Yeah, the first thing I did again, or maybe the third thing I did, is had somebody help me create the logo. And once I got the little logo put together, went into, I believe it was iStock.com to get some good quality photos, had to do with water and things of that nature. And again, my whole feel is to make sure that the website and the postcards and some of the other messages in the drip campaign is selling the lifestyle of living on the water. And so was really thrilled with some of the end results that I had from all of that. In fact, on the top one, in Indianapolis, most of the homes are not on big lakes, are on small lakes. So having a boat dock with a red chair, and we can put whatever message we want to on the upper left or right side. The one underneath is the one that we use whenever we're marketing for expired listings. We have a search set up just for the homes on water. When they pop up, I look at them and see if they're appropriate. And then this is one of, for example, one of the first postcards that they will get from us, and says, "Did enough buyers see your home?" The messages on the back we can create, and most of them are direct them to one of our expired pages on the website, so they can see what some of the services we provide. And again, just trying to create curiosity and get them to start communicating with us.
Yeah, these are really strong graphics. I love how you chose, giving them the feeling of the lifestyle, and it's really prominent. It's designed really well. It's got some strong colors, so it's a good way to capture their attention through the mail they receive daily. Do you have any thoughts on how it's helped your website?
Oh, yes. One of the good things is whenever I mail to neighborhoods, I only mail to the waterfront properties. We have like 6,000 addresses, only the homes that are on water, the ones that I think are appropriate. And so one of the benefits I can talk to somebody about is that I can go to my database and I can have a card put together, a marketing card on their particular property, and I can mail it to neighborhoods where they would be maybe ready to move up to my listings property. So we got all that stuff in there. It goes pretty fast and pretty well. And then the other one is where we just mail into a neighborhood that are on water. It would be, will enough buyers see your home? And on the back side, it's all about, I think with the graphics and the message and homes on water, and because their home is on water, they'll flip it over and look on the other side, and we'll just try to sell the fact how many more people will be able to see their home if it's listed. Obviously, it would be with the RE/MAX brand, but it would also be listed on the Homes on Water and what those benefits are. Whenever I mail to a neighborhood for the first time, it seems like we'll have 30 new property searches that we'll set up. It's sometimes it's 10 or 15. I think it's on timing when they actually arrive, 10 or 15 per 100. And then we'll set up a property search form, and they're constantly getting my email drip campaign, and also all the homes that are on the market.
Yeah, that's actually a high return for direct mail, so that's fantastic. You're getting those kind of returns and listings right away. So would you say the affordability, you would much rather choose to do direct mail over, let's say, like TV or magazine ads or on the radio?
Yeah, I think when you get to a certain level, which would be more volume, then that kind of stuff would probably be better. I think we're going to talk about Facebook a little bit.
Yeah, and we can jump into that. I think we've covered enough on the direct mail. Just so people know, you can actually choose specific zip codes through your postal service, or if you choose to use a direct mail house to send that stuff out for you. Do you go straight to the postal service, Randy, or do you have a direct mail house that takes care of this?
No, because I know they've got direct to the door stuff going on, but I try to just send to the ones that have a home on water.
Okay, but yeah, it's good for everyone to know that you can actually pinpoint specific zip codes. So there's that option for you. But yeah, let's jump into your Facebook ads, and let me just show some images of your business page there, and you got 2 postings. So yeah, if you can just cover how this has worked out for you.
Yeah, I hired somebody came and talked to our office about social media and whatnot, and they actually put together Facebook business pages. So I didn't pay too much. I think like $200 and some, and they put together a business Facebook page. Probably could have done it myself, but I figure I'm not the best. And then after we got all put together, and I provided him with a bunch of photos and cards and things of that nature, he created 2 different posts, which are on the right-hand side there. And what we did was we spent a total of $50 for 2 weeks, I believe it was. $25 on one ad and $25 on the other, and put in keywords like for swimming or boating or fishing and things of that nature, so that whenever those types of people got onto Facebook, it would show up. Well, it was really kind of surprising. I went back and I looked at how many visitors we were having, unique visitors. I just looked at unique visitors for the last 2 months prior to that. And then I went back after this campaign of only 2 weeks was over, and we almost had 2.5 more unique visitors to homesonwater.com.
Yeah, and that's another great return on marketing with Facebook ads. So pushing people to go to your website, that's also key. Is you can go ahead and put these posts out there, but you just need to make sure you drive them back to your website so you can see those some returns that Randy was seeing.
Yeah, so that was I'm pleasantly happy. And again, for $50, wow.
Yeah, exactly, high return. And then we also had a link to another video that was created about a month ago that gets more in depth on Facebook advertising, because you could really get into pinpointing your target market audience. So you could click this later on, and it mentions to put the playhead at 23 minutes for those of you who want to get more information on this. So, so you just shared really 4 great marketing initiatives. It's nice to hear, stealth sites are available for capturing online home buyers and sellers on your website, and that you're also using the direct mail pieces to go to your website. Do you also use the direct mail pieces to go to your stealth sites, or is it specifically your main website?
No, I've just stuck with, my philosophy is just work on the brand, the Homes on Water.
Mm-hmm.
I think that some of the neighborhoods where I've been mailing multiple times over the years, I have seriously thought about doing the waterfront searches on there to maybe capture those people that haven't been there yet, and then that would take them right to the website. We're going to market it as direct access to all the waterfront listings. That's the magical message that we're intending.
Okay. So I think with all these 4 options in tandem, it's nice to see a higher return of people going to your website, which once again, I mean, you set yourself up for success on getting those URLs prepared, getting that research phrase in with the data, the keywords, purchasing all those multiple URLs, and then getting your website set up to be mobile friendly, having those the IDX home search tools within your RPS system so people can start looking at your listings. And then pushing these marketing initiatives, I think that's really helped on just showing your high relevance with Google and other search engines to keep your site ranking really high. I know I've actually looked up a bunch of those URLs that you have, or those Google searches, and I've seen it for myself that you're on first page. So that's exciting to see those results. And I know some agents might be a little bit overwhelmed with how much work goes into this. But, and asking yourself, how do you get this all started? That's a fair enough question. So at this point, I'd just like to mention that, this can be done in an easy step here. If anyone's ready to discuss how they can get their site set up for becoming mobile friendly, having search engines start to recognize you, we have RPS team members available to discuss your current business needs. RealPro Systems was created by 2 top-selling agents, Rob Levy and Galen Haas, and our systems were created for agents by agents. And it gives you tools that you need in every stage of your business, whether you're an agent or a broker. And I have links here where you can read other agent success stories. We have a great video that showcases the Gold Plus system that Randy's using, so you can see how it's all integrated and how it works together. So when you get this recording, you can check those links. And we also wanted to go into the Q&A phase. So at this point, I'm going to turn off the broadcast webinar, and Randy will be able to jump in and start answering any questions you guys have. I know he's been probably answering a few questions during the broadcast of this, but at this point, I'd just like to thank you, Randy, for taking the time to sit down with me and go over all every step you've taken to get your site to rank high in Google.
Thank you. So my first step was to get a niche, work on the niche market of homesonwater.com.
Mm-hmm.
The website's designed to collect buyers, and so I narrowed it down to different parts of the area where people would be interested, and I'm in the process of narrowing it down actually to neighborhoods, which would be the hyperlocal community?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we've got the homesonwater.com website, so we needed to narrow down to the specific neighborhoods that would have waterfront properties in them, and with RealPro and the IDX system, they allowed me to do that, and there is the page right there.